Hello and welcome to Tech and More. Hope you guys are doing awesome. In this video, we are going to have a look at the overview of GitHub and SourceTree. Before continuing, I would like to clarify that this video is specially for folks who have no idea about what GitHub and SourceTree is. So I'm going to first talk about the problem or the challenge that gave birth to GitHub and SourceTree. Then we are going to have a look at GitHub and SourceTree live, that is the actual UIs. And we are going to talk about the essence, the benefits, and all these things while we go along the video. So cool. Let's proceed. But before doing that, I would like to make a request to you that if you like our content, please share, subscribe with your folks, because more the engagement, the better motivation we have. Cool. So without wasting any more time, let's start. What is the need of SourceTree? I mean, what gave birth to the need of SourceTree? So I always believe that a practical example helps you the best, right? So I'm going to share this example with you. So imagine that there is a need for an e-commerce website by a client. Now, in order to develop this website, some features are important. That is, for example, login, something that you see here. Then there is product description, which I'm going to just show you in next 2 seconds. See, something like this, that the different product and prices and all. And then you have the add to cart functionality, right? Cool. Now, these features will be worked on by different developers, right? So the project manager made a team of 3 developers who will work on these 3 different functionalities, for example. Now, this login functionality was given to Marilyn, who is working out of Australia. Then the product add listing functionality was given to Dory in Canada. Then add to cart functionality was given to Nemo in France, right? Now, these 3 folks were working on their own functionalities, and at the end of the day, they wanted to send their changes and make them live on the website for them to display here for the testing team to test, right? Now, what do you think is the problem? Let's go and have a look at the problem now, which is, let's name the developers as dev1, dev2, dev3 for easier purposes. Now, the login code was with dev1, the product course was with dev2, and the cart code is with dev3, right? Now, imagine that the dev3 pushed the changes, or rather, let's say that dev2 pushed the changes and then dev3 pushed the changes, and somehow dev3 changes overrid dev2 changes, right? So now you have the add to cart functionality, right? But imagine there are no products. So if there are no products, what will be added to the cart, right? So all in all, one without another is of no use. That is, these 3 modules without each other coupled together, merged properly, are of no use to each other, right? So when you basically merge these 3 pieces of code, or for that matter, for any piece of code which is being developed by different people, when you send it, you merge it in a meaningful manner and you store it at some place. And where do you store it? That is, you do it on GitHub. All in all, GitHub is a place wherein you can store the changes your team is doing, the things that your team is working or building on, and that one-stop destination where all your changes, all your code, everything will be there, from which everyone can access the latest code, is GitHub, right? Now, let's have a look at GitHub, the UI and all, the benefits and everything. And I'm going to tell you one more thing as we go to that section. Cool. So GitHub is basically a platform that allows software engineers to create, store, manage, and share their code. But you might have this question that, you know what, okay, that all looks good, but I'm still not able to correlate it better. So I always feel that if I try to explain a technical topic and somehow correlate it with a day-to-day thing, or something that you already know of, you get a better grip over the top concept, right? So let me take you to something that you already know, which is a Google Drive, right? You already know what a Google Drive is, I'm sure. Now on Google Drive, imagine that folks are working on different files for a project, right? Now this login code will be uploaded by one person. This product code will be uploaded by another person. Add to cart will be uploaded by. Then there will be a person who will review this code, and they will filter out the correct things and merge them together, and then send it back to the people to get a latest hold of the updated code, right? That is what GitHub is. That is basically it's a drive or a place which stores, manages your code with a lot of other benefits as well. Now, I know that some of you might say that this is a very, very amateurish definition, which somehow is true. But since you folks are very new, I would give any example which will help you understand this technical topic by correlating it with something that you already know, right? So I hope that this is helpful. Now let's have a look at the benefits of GitHub. That is the OG. Why GitHub is called the OG. So it has version control, that is, it tracks changes. So for example, if there are multiple folks working on a project, then who made what changes at what time, at what date, who deleted what, all these things can be tracked. Then number two is branching and merging. That is, branching is basically, if you remember a couple of minutes back, we were talking about these three nodes from three developers, right? That is branching, nothing else, right? So just understand one thing, that do not get afraid by the technical words like branching, merging, or maybe repo that we're going to see in a couple of minutes. They're nothing. They're just fancy words of what you already know, right? So when you send your changes from your local machine, right, to GitHub, right? So you send it to your branch, that is to your node, because there are multiple developers working. So if you have to have a specific route to your machine, right? So that is what branching is. Then you have collaborations, that is pull request. Pull request is basically when you send some changes, they cannot be blindly merged with the major code, with the main code. They always have to be merged with something which is to be reviewed. And then after the review, you can go ahead and merge them with the master. That is what collaboration is. Then third is CI/CD, which is somewhere related to deployments. This is something you need not worry about right now. Just know that CI/CD is also a benefit of GitHub. Then you have documentation, that is README file. So what README file is, that basically if you have a project code posted or put up on GitHub, readme.md is a text file, something like this, that gives you a hint of what project is. That is the functional overview of the project is. For example, we are working on an e-commerce website. The readme.md will tell you that, yes, this is an e-commerce website. This has so and so features, so and so functionalities, use these users and all these. The basically the manual part of a project, right? Then you have community and open source, which is self-explanatory because every project can be hosted free of cost. So it's an open source platform. Cool. These are the benefits. Now, let's go and have a look of how GitHub can be used for you as a first timer, right? So first of all, you go and create an account on GitHub. Don't worry, I'm going to share the URLs and all. You'll be navigated to github.com. You simply create an account. You give your username and rather email and password, or you integrate it with your Google account. I mean, that's up to you. Then second is that you create a repo. Again, as I said, repo is nothing but a project folder. That's all. So where a project folder which has all your mentioned files. Now the third step is that you clone your repo, that is the project folder on GitHub, to your local machine, that is to your laptop or to your PC, right? And the fourth step is, so in the third step, you have the clone to local machine option. That is, you basically made a copy or downloaded this project from your GitHub, the cloud, into your local. And now wherever you were earlier working, wherever your code is hosted, you basically go and copy that particular code into the place where you downloaded the folder. So your changes in your local are now in the cloned folder, which can be again pushed to the repo, right? You need to do this only once, because from thereafter you will be making your changes. All of these changes will be recorded in the folder, and that folder can be directly pushed again from the local to the repo, right? So it's basically the forward and reverse. That is second step, third step, and fourth step, and then from again fourth step, third step, and second step, right? I know it can be a little bit confusing, but just understand one thing, that you're going to first download this project from GitHub into your local system, and then your changes, whatever is there, will be automatically they'll be in the project folder at your local, and then you can simply push from local to GitHub, right? And for more understanding of these commands and everything, please refer to my upcoming videos. Okay, I hope that the concept of GitHub is a little bit clear to you. You have a flavor of how GitHub actually looks like, how you can start using GitHub, right? Then let's go to SourceTree. Now, we have answered the question that is where to put your code. But what about the question that says how to put your code to GitHub, right? So again, an anomaly or a relation or a context to Google Drive, that is, you basically, if you want to upload something on Google Drive, you simply select the file upload or folder upload option, right? You do that. How do you do that in GitHub, right? So you use Git, that is Git commands. That is, for example, if you want to push your changes or if you want to store your changes into GitHub, you have to use nothing but these just these easy commands, right? I don't think they look that easy. That was just to, but I bet the time I said that these easy commands and I did show you these commands, you were a little puzzled, and which is true as well, right? So Git commands basically let you push your code, store your code into GitHub, but of course, as an amateur, as a newbie person, it's very difficult for you. But even as a seasoned software developer or a software engineer, you somehow feel that, okay, what if I have a better way of pushing my changes without using these commands, these numerous commands? So to solve that problem, the source tree or some similar tools were introduced wherein you save yourself from writing these line of codes and you simply go and click. I mean, you have all these operations or actions already written there, and you click and your action is done, right? Again, a little context for you. So earlier when computers came into the existence, every action, for example, moving a file, copying a file, typing something, everything had to be done again from commands, right? From command prompt. But then with the invent of this graphical user interface, that something which you are using right now, that is you simply click to perform your action, you click on file, you to quit something, you click on quit Google Chrome, something like that, right? So all these things when came into picture, more people started using computers. So that is the intent, that when things are simple, when things are more like point and click, more people use it, right? So that is how SourceTree wins. That is, it saves you from lines of code. It is the same concept, right? And then, of course, some benefits are that it's a simple user interface, all commands one click away, and managed from single client. Cool. Now, I am going to show you how SourceTree actually looks like. This is how SourceTree looks like. That is, you have these different operations: commit, pull, push, fetch, or branch, all these. Of course, what these are, this is something we're going to have a look at in the upcoming videos. But for now, this is how SourceTree looks like. I'm going to give you the links to GitHub, to SourceTree, and all these things in detail. Don't worry. But for now, just understand that this is the intent or the concept behind the introduction of these tools in general. I hope that after watching this video, you have a better understanding of these tools, and next time somebody talks to you, you at least have some context to it, right? So again, thank you so much for watching. And if you feel that you have any questions or any feedbacks for us, please feel free to comment. And we promise to deliver to your demands as soon as possible. Thank you again. See you in the next video.